know. Niggas know how I'm bumming, nigga. Yeah. Fuck what a nigga say, I feel like Dre. Man, the game is thick. Suckers wanna play and load my K until that bitch click. Big stick, hanging out the bottom of my 4-5. No lie, if I whip it out, somebody gon' die. Only time you hard is on the gram when you go live. Flexing with a tube but never blam, I'ma blow mine. Won't show mine until it's go time. Nah, you can't hold mine. Yeah, I got the whole mine, I'm on the goal line. And I'm going for 6, watch me up the scope. Caught him at the stove, he was with his hoe. Had to let him know, that's your ass, you don't get it past. You reap what you sow. Why you speaking low? Speak up, boy, you been a hoe. Boy, you been a bitch, get off dick, tryna steal my drip. Look up in the air, you see me, I'm fly as bird shit. Never on no nerd shit, why you on that lame shit? You don't want no smoke, you get smoke with who you hang with. You know what I'm saying? Lame ass niggas talking about they on some gang shit. Nigga, you was a bitch, nigga. Matter of fact, nigga, you was a hoe. Nah, you ain't no hoe, cause hoes get dope. Man, you pussy ass a cat.
We fucking live, my niggas.
Tell him free to act. Yelling free a rat, you know he told how you sleep with.
You yelling free here, rat. You know he told how you sleep with that. Heart2Start Fantasy Football Podcast, man. Hey, as y'all can see on the intro right there, those was our live location drafts that we used to that we do every year, live in a different city. That's why I ain't shaved or got no haircut. I'm waiting for that pre-draft haircut. That's why I'm looking like Teen Wolf right now. You know what I'm saying? Because we will be in Miami, giving footage for y'all to see next week when we do our live draft in MIAO, man. GuchinniJd, Teen Wolf Senior, what's happening?
Man, that motherfucking Cuzzo Don switched my motherfucking appointment. I was a day ahead of you and Kurt, Brody Cortez, but that motherfucker don't want to be in the shop that day, so I'm forced to.
Thursday, right?
And yeah, I didn't want to get cut Thursday because I get braided on Thursday, so I gotta get cut and braided the same motherfucking day. You know, I got a video of you before we went to Arizona, like 2 days, a day, some shit like that. You know what I mean? And I made fun of you for waiting to the last minute. You know what I mean? I'm not. I got to make sure everything copacetic.
Well, my hair grow back quick, so I gotta bring the liners. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
by day 2, you know, I'm mixed with white, man. Day 2, I'm Harry Berry, catfish. My son called me a catfish on Instagram the other day. I don't know if y'all caught that.
Damn, and I'm just over here jealous because I can't even grow none of that y'all got all on your face, man. Damn, man.
Do what they doing. Get you feel me, the 24-hour Beijing?
Nah, no, sir. Hey, no, sir. I'd rather be Patchwork Adams, man.
Hey, I was just watching a video of Gucci talking about some shit, right? And Gucci shit looked like he got that Beijing shit. Oh, my mama, that nigga beard looks so motherfucking
I ain't doing that, Jack.
Oh my mama, that shit is.
That ain't happening, man.
Hey, but our barber, our cousin, hey, that fool has this shit called enhancements, right? And that's that shit where they get to spraying all in your hair.
Yeah, that's what we talking about.
Yeah, that's what we talking about, nigga.
$20 for that shit. I told him, I put the drop out, right? I said, man, if anybody that I know come in here asking for this shit,
with the performance
the guy to the left or the other co-hosts, they come in there asking for that shit.
I don't need it, bro. I got all my little years.
I'm just saying, bro. I'm putting the hit out right now. I put the hit out. I let him know, man. If any of these boys come and ask for this shit, man, I need a picture, a video, something like that, man. On my fucking enhancement.
JD finna be like the auntie at the barbecue with the finger waves all weekend, going like this,
tap,
patting on this shit
with that itchy and scratchy. You gotta use that head and shoulders.
That's 2 weeks in, big guy.
Now you better not get that thing wet.
It ain't a couple days later. It's when your shit starts to get
in the water. You get in the water.
You better not get that thing wet.
You get in the ocean when we get the skis.
The patience is a virtue, man, and my patience starting to pay off, man, because my shit is coming down past my neck and the whole shit, man. My shit, my shit is really coming like them 96
Scrappy dudes,
Georgetown, man. Sophomore. Oh my mama, 96 Georgetown shit. That's what I'm coming to Miami.
Bringing it back, huh?
You going straight back to zigzags with the.
It don't matter what I'm doing, doggy. You just worry about them curls that you trying to have popping out.
I I ain't bringing the curls with the girls out, man. You know,
yeah, that's what I
you
thought.
That's
what I thought.
Hey, Don said, look,
his
I
shit too straight. He had to go. That shit
I know
too
we getting
straight.
sidetracked, right? But our barber Don, he told me, I said, look, Don, I'm gonna come I'm gonna come 2 weeks ahead of time. I'm gonna try out a fade though, but not all the way, not the Boosie fade, the fade that go a little lower. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna see if I can keep my hair at the top, see what's going on. He said, "Cuz I ain't cutting your hair like that." I said, "Bro, how you gonna tell me?" He said, "I ain't doing it, bro. I ain't cutting your hair like that." I'm like, "How you gonna tell me?"
Somebody else.
He's like, "Cuz I ain't cutting your hair like that, man." I'm like, "Damn, bro, you ain't." He's a funny dude, man. Curls for the girls.
He didn't want you to do it to yourself.
He didn't want me to do it to myself. It's all good, man. I don't want to look like no pop star anyway, man. Hey, but nah, look, we can jump into this, man. Top 11 through 20. This is the top 11 through 20 wide receivers. Like we said, we're going to Miami next week, so we will be dropping quarterbacks and tight ends back-to-back, quick jack next week, giving it to y'all. You know, tight ends, we only going to do 12, top 12, and a couple sleepers. You know what I'm saying? That's how we do the tight ends and the QBs, because you play with one tight end generally and one QB. But we will give y'all a couple sleepers.
Not unless if you're me and you think of Waller and Kelsey as WR1, so you know.
And now you're well, you know, that's the super flex league, you know what I'm saying? But I was about to say now you're lacking because you went 2 tight ends, and now you.
Oh man, bruh. When you can go
you
get
went too tight early,
you can go get Jacoby Myers off the motherfucking wire.
It was a super flex 14 team league though.
14 team, man. So it's thin pickings on my mama. But yeah, no, I mean them tight ends to me, you know, just to be jumping ahead of, you know, the Wallers and the Kelseys and the Kittles, when you putting up 80 plus catches and 1,000 yards and 8, 9, 10 TDs, you know, some of these receivers that we've been doing, they only got 4 TDs and 66 receptions and under 1,000 yards and shit like that. But these fellas over there, you had Kelsey who broke Kittle's record the following year of receiving yards at the position. You got Waller scoring 10 TDs with 100 catches and 1,000 yards. I mean, come on, bro. I mean, what else do I got to say about this?
Well, you'll be fighting for him like everybody else, man. Let's jump into these.
Man, look, I said on the last episode, or I said on our draft show that I was going to leave these last few drafts. I think I got 3 drafts coming up with one of them top 3 TDs and TEs, and I'm sticking to that. You know what I mean? So, you know, whether I got to go get Kelsey at the back end of the first or at some time in the second, if I'm there, you know, my draft position, or if I got to reach for either Waller or Kittle, I'm going to have one of them in these last, we got 3 drafts coming up, and I'm going to do it, bro.
Since we like rivals, we don't care. Let's get to these.
Man, I'm just I'll stick to my word, though, dog. A nigga
that's your problem, man. Why are you going in the drafts with one set?
That's not a set strategy, dog. That's a position that I'm targeting. Okay. That's not a set strategy. My set strategy is 3 motherfucking running backs.
That's a good strategy, bro.
On everything. You love to put words in a nigga mouth, bro.
I'm just starting off how we do it. Let's start it off, man. Wide receiver 11 through 20, man. Let's start with you, JD. We gonna get it. Even though Workz did his list first, JD, I had Allen Robinson in my top 10. I had Allen Robinson in my top 10. You got him 11. That ain't too far. Your number 11 is Allen Robinson.
Yeah, I was on the wrong motherfucking page. I'm looking at the 15 through 16. I forgot we doubling up on this motherfucker. Yeah, I got Allen Robinson at 11. Only reason why he didn't crack my my top 10 is because I'm just super high on CD at that back end of that second tier. You know what I mean? But I mean, you can't argue with what Allen Robinson did last year with musical chairs of Mitch Trubisky and damn, I can't even think of who else the other quarterback was. They benched Mitchell, you know, halfway through the season, brought him back in, that bullshit, you know what I mean? But the boys Nick Foles, there we go there, the statue out in front of Philadelphia. But with the musical chairs of quarterbacks, he had a 25.4 target share, which was 11th in the league, 151 targets, which was 3rd in the league. You know what I mean? And then he was fucking efficient on them 151 targets for 102 receptions, you know, which was 4th in the league. You know, when you get to having 151 targets and the boy Digsy's had 160 something, you know what I mean? It was a way better offense in Buffalo than it was in Chicago before. But for Mike Allen Robinson to be efficient on them 151 targets, you know what I mean, 1,250 yards, you know, that's top 10 in the league. And then you get to looking at completed air yards, 955, top 3 in the league, bro. That's what I'm saying. So, you know, the sooner the better that we get Justin Fields in there for him to make way more plays than any quarterback that they have had in the last 5 years, you know, 6-7 years, going back to the color days where they made it to the motherfucking Super Bowl and shit like that. You know what I mean? Only thing that's stopping A-Rob is just his fucking TDs. He only has 6 TDs, which is 25th in the league. But if anywhere he can get that up, his TDs up, 19 red zone targets, you know, his yak ain't there too much, 295 yards. You know, but we think of him as a possession receiver and a deep threat because he's a 6'3", 6'4", size frame, 220-plus pound receiver. You know what I mean? So, you know, it's a case for him to be inside the top 10. But the top 10 receivers that I do have, I like them just a little bit more, especially the situation that they're in. But, I mean, you can easily have A-Rob as a top 10 receiver. And shit, if he's outside of your top 10 and he's falling into the late 2nd, early 3rd, you know what I mean? You pair him up with a running, a fire ass. If you pick it in the beginning of the 1st round, top 3, top 4, you pair him with one of them fire ass running backs and he's your first receiver off the board. That's a fire ass combination, bro. So, yeah, I got A-Rob as my 11th.
I mean, I had him in the top 10 at looks like I had him at number 8. You know, I'm good with A-Rob anywhere in that top 15, anywhere anybody got him. I could see a lot of receivers is deep, so I wouldn't even be mad at somebody that don't have him that high. The only knock that I have on him, and clearly I ignored it by having him high, is that he's in a contract year. But I think he's ready to prove. He's definitely worth the money. You know what I'm saying? But we'll see. I think he don't really have nothing to prove because he's been efficient with, like you said, a lot of different quarterbacks. I'm not mad at nobody that got A-Rob right there.
Damn. Pull up that comment by the Strangler.
Dalton is a statue who's not accurate. Fields is a short rookie QB who can't read defenses. Robert's numbers will decline. I mean, I could see where you say that, but he had Mitch Trubisky and Foles last year, and he was doing his thing. So, you know, I can't get with you on that wide receiver 2, wide receiver 3 at best. I would say wide receiver 2 at worst.
And then who was the quarterback in Jacksonville where he balled the fuck out for him to get paid after the ACL tear?
Because no matter what, he's still a wide receiver 1. That's just what it boiled down to.
Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I would love to having, you know, and like I said, if you know, my thing is, you know, I'm heavy on the running backs. If I can go get 2 running backs and he slips as my first running back in the 3rd, yeah, I mean, my first wide receiver, get him in the 3rd, yeah, I love that, 100%. Or if I'm going, you know, a tight end receiver and then another receiver and he's there in the 3rd, yeah, no, definitely. Even just with a tight end Kelsey at the back end of the 1st and then, you know, no, I wouldn't do that at the back end and then go get A-Rob. But I would have to be picking high in the 1st and then double back, you know, as that turn comes at the late 2nd, beginning of the 3rd. You know, I like A-Rob 100%. But, you know, that's why I got him where I got him at as well, because there's a few more receivers that I like better than him.
I mean, 11 is pretty high, though. I would say people would say that's pretty high. So I think
what's pretty high?
For sure. Just 11? I mean, you know,
some people
might argue.
But what I'm saying is just where I can get him at. You know, if my rankings was, you know, because mostly in redraft 12 team and single QB, all the RBs, you're going to have a run of straight 7, 8, maybe even 9 running backs right off the rip. You know what I mean? And then you got your 2nd round RBs, which is at least 3 to 4, but you can't forget about Tyreek, Devontae Adams, D-Hop, even Calvin Ridley right now. So it pushes A-Rob a little bit down into the end of the second, beginning of the third. You know what I mean? And if you picking high in the draft, you go get, high in the first, you go get you one of them top 4, and A-Rob falls to you at the end of the second, beginning of the third, you winning, bro. I mean, that's how I feel.
Boston Strangler, I'm gonna say this. I can't be mad at nobody that thinks he's not, but number 9 in PPR last year and number 7 the year before, and they don't have no quarterbacks, and arguably their quarterbacks are better this year. I would take Dalton over possibly Mitch. Mitch's problem was they drafted him so high that he'll never succeed the way they want him to, right? But Fields starting by week 3-4 to me, I'll take Allen Robinson. And just to see, we'll see how accurate he is, but Fields is a monster to me, and he got a little chip on his shoulder. So
I'll take him as my anchor wide receiver, especially if I go 2 running backs. You know what I mean? If I get the top 4 pick, and like I said, I come back and get him, go another running back, whether it be motherfucking if Antonio Gibson falls, somewhere in that range, Eckler falls, and I'm able to go get Allen Robinson as my first receiver. Yeah, you damn right, because I got two fire ass running backs in front on the team as well. You know what I mean? But I feel you though, Brody. I see what you're saying though.
So Workz, I want to talk about your number 11 because 2 of us me and JD had him number 9, and JD had him at number 6. You got AJ Brown at 11. Can you tell us why you don't think he's in your top 10?
Like I said, when we did that 6 through 10, AJ Brown could have easily cracked my top 10. It was just a matter of preference between my number 10, who was Keenan Allen, and AJ. You know what I'm saying? So I went with Keenan because I think Keenan going to have a little better action as far as their offense taking off down there in San Diego versus the offense in Tennessee taking a step back is what I think is going to end up happening. So that's the only reason why I had AJ at 11. Again, I could have made a compelling case to put him in the top 10 as high up as 6 or 7, to be honest, because the ability's there. You don't really see too many holes in his game. So it's going to be more so predicated on what that offense chooses to do, man. And it's going to be different because they got a whole new coordinator calling the plays down there. So we don't know what we're really going to see out of Tennessee. So, we're going to see a lot of a heavy dosage of Henry. We're going to see that same similar offense, but every new coordinator is going to shake it up to his liking. So, yeah, man. I think a solid 11 is good, even though he got the talent and ability and the, of course, skill set to get him up there into that top 10 for sure.
And then another reason is too, though, is he's been banged up his every year of his career so far. He's coming into the season right now banged up too. So I can see that being a reason as he slips down in people's drafts, but yet, the production has been there in a limited sample size, whether it be 12 games, 11 games, 13 games, you know what I mean? When the boys on the field, like I said, him and Debo, they remind me of each other because when they get the ball in their hands, you can't bring them boys down, you know what I mean? So, that's the reason why I had him in my top 6 or at 6, and then adding Julio on that other side, rejuvenated Julio. That's another thing with me, just a little conspiracy theory, is I think that he knew he wanted to be out of Atlanta last year. You know what I mean? Oh, man, this shit ain't for me. So, let me play 9 games, let him know that it's the hammy or whatever the fuck, was going on with him last year.
So
let me sit out, let me collect this check, and let it be known that I'm on my way up out here. I mean, I'm not fucking around with this bullshit, man.
All I'm gonna say is be careful with Julio because he already in a pitch count in training camp, and it's never good when you're a wide receiver on a pitch count.
Okay, so, look, I want to talk about this. While we
and they're the same wide receiver type, so I don't really like that combo of him and AJ because they basically the same wide receiver. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, who's gonna attack where? You know what I'm saying? Who's going to do what? That's why I said, to me, it's just too hard to tell like what that offense is going to look like. You know what I mean?
But Julio can play that deep receiver too, though.
But see, what I think they're going to end up doing is moving Julio around because that's how you get the most out of Julio. Julio's going to be the move around receiver, basically the X, whereas that Z going to be AJ. Sit you out there on that island and let you work, you know what I'm saying, and call it a day. So with that being said, Julio is more versatile. It's just from what I just keep seeing out of Julio for the last 4 years, bro, is those injuries. If you're talking about a Nick player, it's Julio. If we're gonna say who's Nick more so between Julio and AJ, I gotta put it in Julio lap, man.
Yeah, but I think he played 15 games last year and the year before he played the whole season.
You say what?
I think Julio only played 15 games last year only. He only missed one last year, and the year before that, I think he played 16. You know what I mean?
But he's a 10+ year vet, and he don't barely practice. And you go into a brand new team and you don't barely practice.
It's a lot of vets.
To me, it just ain't setting up to look like anything good for Julio, man. That's the reason why he ain't cracked my top 20.
No, I feel it, but there's a lot of vets that don't practice and show up the day of the game and they ball out. You know what I mean?
How many of those are wide receivers?
Huh?
How many of those are wide receivers?
I'm sure it's plenty of them, big bro.
Listen, look, I want to do something different right now. I want to do something different.
Don't sit out, man. It's hard for a wide receiver to sit out and miss practice like that, man.
With that timing, with the look, let's do this. I want to do something different. We're gonna jump to JD year Julio being 19, but only because I want to talk about, and we'll go back to 12 and keep going. I want to talk about how me and Workz don't have Julio in our top 20, and you do. And my reason is pretty quick. I'll just give you mine, and then JD, you could tell me. I think, for one, like Workz said, him and AJ are very alike. You know, somebody in the comments said, you know, Corey Davis is still there. I mean, it's gone, and he's going to get some of those targets. I agree. But my thing is, Tennessee is a much better team and arguably a much weaker division than the AFC South. And I'm going to say that because Wentz is banged up a little bit. You know, obviously the Colts and the Titans are going to go at it. But I'll take the Titans, right? I feel like the division is theirs. You got a player like Julio who's nicked up and stays nicked up. I feel like the pressure in Atlanta was always, we paid you big and you argue for extension. You better play every game, play through it, play whatever. This is what we want. Big stadiums, big city. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Julio got to go to a team where he don't got to be the number one option because you got King Henry, you got A.J. Brown. They spread it out. His production is going to drop to where I like a lot of receivers that I have over him because their teams actually need them. I don't think Tennessee needs Julio like Atlanta did, which, don't get me wrong, he went there because he knew he was going to get the rock. And but like Workz said before the show, he's a nice guy. He don't even demand the ball. He's not that type of dude. So, you know, I see him. I don't see him in the top 20. I see him worth it if you can get him in like the 5th round. How can you pass up on Julio on the 5th? But I've been seeing a lot of people treating him that 4th round like that's a bargain, and I don't think so.
You want to go ahead and say anything on that? Because what Boston Strangler said, that's what I'm going to lead off with. You know what I mean? 100%. Then I got a few numbers. You know what I mean?
We're talking about practice, but we're not talking about basketball. We're talking about football.
We're talking about timing.
You got to prepare to play. You got to prepare to play football. You can't just go out there and play wide receiver, sit out all week, go out there and think you're not going to catch a hammy or catch a quick little ankle or turn a quick little – man, it's all type of things that can happen to you on the football field if you're not prepared. Julio has been doing that for the last 4 years. How many years can Julio keep that up? That's my thing.
Y'all.
How many years can Julio keep that up? And I'm not hating on Julio as a Saints fan. I'm hating on Julio as a Falcons fan.
Year, and then he played.
I'm not talking about. I'm not. But look, JD, you're missing my point though. I understand he played the games. You know what I'm saying? My whole point is this: he can't keep playing. He's not. Of course he's gonna play those games. Let's say we're gonna give him the same 15 games in Tennessee, right? Do you expect the same productivity that you seen out of him last year in Tennessee?
The last year he only played 9 games because he was hurt. But the year before that he played 15 and then he played 16 and he produced at a high
That's 3
level.
years ago.
JD.
That's 3 years ago. 2 years.
But that's my
ago.
point, JD. My point is he played 9 games. Now, were they productive 9 games? Yes, they were. They were a productive 9 games. But you played 9 games and you coming into this year's offseason training camp, missing training camp practices. That's not good for a wide receiver going into the season, and the season just 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away.
I mean, shit, bro. We just seen a new QB go into a whole new situation. Man, look, I'm telling you, bro.
He's going into a new situation.
Practicing.
And he's
going into a new situation.
He had to learn a whole
quarterback.
new system.
Mind you, a quarterback that ain't as good as the quarterback that he just came from. And he got to learn a new system, and he missing time.
Bruh, but they was throwing up a whole bunch of duds at the beginning of the season and start to click. But I'm looking at Julio's numbers right now, right? In 156 targets, 99 receptions for almost 1,400 yards and 6 TDs. And then in 18, he played the whole 16 and had 170 targets with almost 1,700 yards and 8 TDs, bruh.
What do those stats mean now, though, JD?
Do you have look, I'm gonna ask you this. Let me ask you this. Do you got the same aches and pains that you had 3 years ago? Right now.
You got to understand that my body is different because I done been through a lot of my body done had a lot of
hear you.
So I didn't have the same aches and pains for the last 16 years.
But JD, listen though, we talking about so you can compare that. Good, boom. You compared you and your body, right? But we're comparing, not saying
major
it's different,
surgery.
but this is a good comparison. Football is a physical sport. It's like he's getting in a car wreck every time he go out there. So it's 2 things that's physically getting put on you.
Your argument is based off what he did last year.
No, listen, my argument is that you're bringing up stats from 2-3 years ago when last year was the year he played 9
games.
Listen, the most recent, I could only go off of what just happened.
Okay.
And what just happened at age 31, 32 was he was banged up with the hammies and what things.
I understand that, but yet in the 9 games that he did play, he's touching numbers that other receivers that played the whole 16 last year, though.
And now he's going to a run-first team that figures to be up a whole hell of a lot more than Atlanta. Yes or no?
I guess so. Bruh.
They don't need Julio to succeed.
They don't need him to
That's
succeed. So then why
they
trade for him?
It was free. They got him for
AJ
free? Brown was recruiting him. Would they give up a third? Like he was free, bro. All he costs is the contract that's left, and they can cut him and not pay nothing.
You want to know why it wasn't too costly? Because they already got a good team.
Say that again.
They already got a good team. So that third round, I think he went for it wasn't too costly. When that third ain't gonna really hurt much.
A top 3 round pick is always beneficial in the NFL.
Julio Jones, bro.
100%.
We're talking about Julio Jones on the team that thought they could be in the Super Bowl. You're not giving up a third. They just gave up
I'm just saying though, a top 3 pick or top 3 round pick in the NFL is valuable, big bruh. 100%.
But we're talking about you just read off his stats, and you getting them stats for a third round on a team that could win third round next year.
Of course, you do the deal.
You
do the deal because you're not looking at what he did last year.
So you just answered my question.
What his
answer the question? Is. Why did they bring him in? You just
because
answered
they think he could do what he did, not last year in 2020, he's done before.
They think he could be better than the next guy behind AJ Brown. That's why they let Corey Davis go, Jonnu go. It's a no-brainer.
Okay, so then what are you talking about, though, bro? What are you talking about?
My point is they don't need him to do what he's been doing in Atlanta as the alpha dog.
So you don't think he? So what you're saying is even though they don't need him to do that, you think he can't do what he did?
They don't need him to, a.k.a. they won't make him, a.k.a. fantasy football.
Listen to me, bruh. He's going to be able to take pressure off of the other guy on the other side in the whole offense.
Decoy.
When you got to
Worse,
commit
because
to Derrick Henry, listen, hold on. When you got a 2,000-yard running back in the backfield who commands an 8-man box, and you can only have 11 people on the motherfucking on the defensive side of the ball, what that mean? You can't play Derrick Henry with a motherfucking 6-man front. You can't.
Hey,
you can't, bruh. It's going to be easier for him to do what he has done in previous seasons just based on he's never played with a running back like Derrick Henry, doggy.
But they don't need him to, doggy.
They don't need him to, but that doesn't mean that he's not going to produce
totally
like
different
that.
offense, man.
All right, I can't wait to revisit
you're gonna see something different out there. Watch.
I can't wait to revisit this. Let's move on.
Look, when you get that same 9 games out of Julio.
Hold on.
When you get that same 9 games out of Julio and you only get 600 yards receiving and 2 touchdowns.
That's not going to happen. You sound scoring right now because he done left your team.
All right. I'm
600 yards. Come on, man.
I'm scoring. I ain't said one word about being scorned about losing Julio. If anything, I'm the one who was saying we needed to get rid of him.
Keep it real. I know 3 Falcons. Look, I know 3 Falcons fans.
But I'm probably the only one that said we needed to get rid of Julio.
Hey, I know 3 Falcons. I know 3 Falcon fans.
Come on, JD.
Listen, hold on. I know 3 Falcon fans. Workz, Wax, and Zach, and they all said we don't need him.
That's what's up.
He's getting older, bro. He's 32, bro.
And they ain't going nowhere. That's why they want to go
get in the end zone.
You get what you can get.
I don't care what you
now,
do between the 20s. You don't get in the end zone, man.
All right, let's move on.
Never got in the end zone like that. When y'all was going to the Super Bowl, y'all wasn't saying he wasn't getting in the end zone.
That is the reason.
No, they
why.
been saying he wasn't going in the end zone.
So that's the reason why he ain't in my top 20 then. You making my case.
I mean, I'm looking at
he missing games. He don't practice and he don't get in the end zone.
I'm gonna tell you like this. I seen your top 20. There's a few receivers that he got more TDs in 9 games in your top 20 right now. So don't use not getting in the end zone
on a team without Derrick Henry and AJ Brown, bro.
Well, we don't know how many TDs he's gonna get on a team with Derrick Henry and AJ Brown.
So it's safe to say you got him in the top 20
don't use not getting in the end zone a viable argument because there's.
But you, Mr. Stat Man, I hope that stat man. I hope that stat is right, Mr. Stat Man.
Hold on,
9 games,
check,
they
Mr.
played
Stat
16
Man.
games.
Okay, give me a second, Skip and Shannon. Listen, right? Look, you just said right. If I got Julio in the top 20, let's just say the reason why I don't think he's going to get the yards that he's normally getting because it's a run-first team. He used to be getting 13, 14, 15, 16, 1,700 yards. If you say it doesn't matter about touchdowns, well, I actually would hope he gets more touchdowns because he's not going to get the yards. Therefore, something has to make up for what they're doing on a run-first team.
Yards when he's seeing one-on-one coverage. Who you going to double team?
All right, let's move on. I want to go to my number 11.
Against Derrick Henry, bro. You just coming off a 2K yard season. You're going to have to put 8 motherfuckers in the box, 7 motherfuckers in the box, doggy.
This ain't Madden, bro. They're not going to just come out and team and we're just going to throw it to Julio every time because you got to.
I didn't say that.
Okay, let's move on. Let's move on,
please
bro.
do because y'all think y'all still in a hole.
We know you love Julio, bro. It's official. I love Julio. I'm a big Julio.
I just want to. I hope
that I just got him in my top 20. Don't say I love a motherfucker. I got him in my top 20 because I think he's a steal in the 4th round as my 19th receiver. 100%.
You might be at the bottom.
I bet you as my 21st receiver. Them 3 touchdowns he had last year. I bet you every last one of them top 20 of mine had 3 touchdowns.
I'm gonna go. Look, I want to jump to number 11
in 16 games.
I'm gonna jump to number 11.
100%, bro.
We don't got to talk too much about number 11 for me because 2 of y'all had him in y'all top 10. I got Scary Terry. I got Scary Terry in my number 11. He could have been in my top 10. He could have been in my top 10 over Keenan Allen. I just think he's the number 1 option as far as receiving goes on that team. He's really their only threat other than Curtis Samuel, who, he should be good with Rivera again. But I like McLaurin. It's his third year. You know what I'm saying? He's progressing, got better every year. He went from 900 yards his rookie year to 1,100 yards last year, 4 touchdowns. You know, I think with Fitzmagic, you know, willing to take more chances down the field, I think that 1,100 yards and 87 catches could easily go up to 100 catches and maybe even 1,400. So I really should have him in the top 10. I'm going to keep it real. I got A.J. Brown in my top 10, but every draft I've done, I've had a chance to get A.J. Brown, and I kind of been passing on him. Like, you know, I don't really like the 2 knees, what he's going through, but, you know, I've been going with McLaurin. That's who I've been going with. Where y'all got him at? Y'all got him at the, actually, I don't know. That's a dumb question. Workz, you had him in your top 10 at 9.
I had him at
JD, you had him at 9. JD, you didn't have McLaurin in your top 10.
Got him at 12.
You got him at 12. Talk to me.
I mean, shit, when you commanding a 25.5 target share, which is 10th in the league, and then his motherfucking snap share was like 88.9, damn near 90% snap share, he's not coming off the field. And just to go with 134 targets and 87 receptions, the targets was 9th in the league and the receptions was 15th in the league, you know, and 11-18 on them receiving yards, which is 11th in the league. I mean, what the fuck? You know what I mean? And then for his red zone targets was 13th in the league. You think of T-Mac as a deep threat, but they going to him in the red zone. And that was 24th in the league. And then with the code, one of the illest numbers that stuck out to me was his motherfucking yak was a 468 yards, which is top 10 in the league, bro, or damn near top 5 at number 6. You know what I mean? When he get the ball, he often running to the motherfucking to the pylon. 100%. That's his goal every time he touched the ball. That's what that yak mean to me. You know, you get the ball in your hand, you trying to go see Pater. 100%. Only thing that's holding him back from being a top 10 receiver is just the TDs. He only had 4 TDs in 16 games.
I mean, TDs go up and down. A lot of that's just how it be sometimes. But the yards is going.
I'm just saying he only had 4 TDs, doggy. That's all I said.
Alex Smith throwing on the ball, all short. You know what I'm saying? Intermediate routes where he was fucking going to J.D. McKissick every time. Made him a top 15.
1,318 yards, which was 17th in the league, and his completed air yards was 650, which was 18th in the league. His deep targets was 20, which was 23rd in the league. So he's going deep, doggy, 100%.
I got him at 11. You got him at 12. Looks like we're high on McLaurin. Workz got him at 9. I think Heart2Start is high on McLaurin. Let's go to number. I mean, we just talked about Allen Robinson, so we'll go.
So we don't got to go to 12.
Yeah, we don't got to go to 12. Let's skip to 13 for you, Workz, and go with Mike Evans.
Mike Evans at 13, man. You know, honestly,
my bad.
I guess I just got Mike Evans right there, man. I'm kind of down on Mike Evans, man. He just was. I had him last year in one of my leagues, man, and he just let me down all year long, man, dealing with that hammy, man. So, you know, but when he was on the field, he was effective. I really see how Tom really likes him. You know what I mean? Tom willing to force feed him and everything. So, you know, I think 13 for Mike Evans, considering where he's at in his career, I think that's a pretty cool spot for him right there. I don't really see too much drop off from him productivity-wise. If anything, the Bucs probably going to look even better on offense. So, you know, I wouldn't be surprised if he had slightly better stats as long as he can stay healthy. You know, he kind of falls in that tier with Julio too, constantly nicked, you know what I'm saying? But when he's on the field, he's effective. You know what I'm saying? So you really can't take that from him.
Yeah, I got Mike. What you got Mike Evans in this, JD? Look like you got him at 13, same spot. A lot of people down on Evans this year. What you think? Why you think it is? Is it because Godwin's coming back? Is it because they think Tom gonna fall off, which clearly he don't look like it? What you think?
Who, me?
JD, yeah.
Oh yeah, nah. I mean, you know, I got Mike Evans at 14. I could have had him at 13. You know what I mean? But you know, the cold thing is, you know, Mike, this was his last year was his Mike Evans' first year not cracking 1,000 yards receiving. And he was only motherfucking where's his motherfucking yards at? Receiving yards, 989 yards. So he was only 11 yards away from cracking a 1,000 yards, and I think he's cracked a 1,000 or 1K every season that he's been in the league, 100%. So, you know, in the beginning of the football season last year, the fantasy season, NFL season, whatever you want to, they was dudding out. You know, the whole Tampa Bay offense was dudding out. But come like after the bye week, I think I want to say shout out to my guys, the Bears, Brews, and the Bros. I forgot what week they played them on Monday night, where Tom forgot that it was on fourth down. He got to throwing the 4 fingers up and was like, huh? You know what I mean? But after that point, the fucking offense clicked, doggy. And, you know, if I'm finna make my point for him, though, you know, he had 109 targets dealing with a new quarterback, which was 10th in the motherfucking league. You know what I mean? 70 receptions, which is 28th in the league. And you think of Mike Evans, he be having, like how Workz just said, he be having them Julio seasons, whether he reminded him as a banged up Julio, but to me, he has them 12, 13, 1,400 yard seasons, you know what I mean? In which, like I just said, it was his first year where he didn't crack 1,100 yards. But if we get to looking at what was really going on, his deep targets was 21st, which is 19th in the league. His red zone targets was 19th, or he had 19, which was 4th in the league. And out of them 19 targets, he caught 12 of them targets, which was 4th in the league. And then he had 13 total TDs. So when he caught the ball, you know what I mean, it was really a little bit of deep action, but his main thing was in that red zone. You know what I mean? And he had 13 total TDs, which was 4th in the league. You know what I mean? So with the inconsistencies at the beginning of the season of them still trying to work out the kinks, not having no preseason, only having training camp and shit like that, and hitting the motherfucking ground running from week 1 all the way to that motherfucking Chicago game. And after that Chicago game, they got it rolling. So going into this season right now with a full off season, them winning the motherfucking bowl and connecting, you know, on 13, 14 TDs, I'm higher on Mike Evans to where he can get to his receiving yardage, but also being the inside the 20 motherfucking go-to guy, 100%. So yeah, I'm definitely high on Mike Evans. He had 1,324 air yards, was 16th in the league, and then the completed air yards was 732, bruh, which was 12th in the league on a first year quarterback, or still learning the chemistry with fucking TB12 Tampa, 100%, doggy. You know, no, I'm fucking with Mike Evans, dog, 100%. And then just a little back note, I don't got Chris Godwin in my top 20, 100%.
Okay, well, look, Mike Evans, right? I think Mike Evans' value is better this year than it has been in the past. You know, granted, you know, you got players like AB going later, like they're saying in the comments. I agree. But Mike Evans has been going in the second round consistently for a while now. This is probably one of the times where you'll be able to get him. Well, last year he didn't go that high because Godwin had came off that good year the year before. He was actually going ahead of Evans. But this year you can get Mike Evans in damn near the 4th, 5th round, depending on how your draft is. And, you know, I don't want him to be my second best player, but I would be mad if he was my second best wide receiver, if that makes sense. I think when he was going drafted in like the second round, you just expect him to have way more, you know, those big games that'll win you weeks. And granted, the year before he had a 50 and then a whole bunch of 3s and 4s, you know, but last year, you know, he was pretty consistent. And like JD said, you know, Brady came in there still trying to learn the system. You know what I'm saying? I felt like they used the run a little bit more at the beginning of the year, make sure they got a good record. You know, the division still had Breeze in it. You still, you know, had some competition. You can never really count the Falcons out, even though they're never really good. But at the beginning of the season, you always expect them to be good based on talent. So I say that to say, you know, Mike Evans, full Brady, you know, Brady already came in and won the Super Bowl. I feel like they're going to let Brady get back to just doing what he want to do. And he's going to be throwing a lot more, even though he threw a lot last year. You know what I'm saying? He picked it up at the end. But give me Mike Evans, Godwin, and AB. Obviously not on the same team, but for the right price at the right situation, I'll take him. And just a side note, I'll get back to Godwin. I have Godwin in my top because last year to me was an outlier. We'll get to that. But yeah, I like Mike Evans. I think I feel like on my top players, I could have honestly put some people over him, but I feel like he's safe at that spot I got him at. Like he's a safe 13. You know what I'm saying? If you look at his history, 11 last year, PPR, 15, 9, 17, 2. I feel like you're guaranteed to get a top 10, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 ranked wide receiver possibly. So I think Mike Evans is a safe pick depending on where you get him. But like I said, don't let him be your second best player. Let's jump to I had him
my 13, bro. That was my 14.
Okay.
My 13 is Robert Backwoods, 100%, bro. I got him at 13 just based on what he brings to the table. Is just not as a motherfucking just a receiver threat. You know what I mean? He also runs the ball. Them end the rounds. They're making sure that they get Robert Backwoods, and in the industry calling Bobby Trees, but we gonna call him Robert Backwoods because when I was putting it in the air, that's what I was smoking, is straight backwoods, 100%. You know what I mean? But yeah, though, 130 targets, which is 12th in the league, with a bum ass quarterback that they shipped out. You know what I mean? 90 receptions, which is 11th in the league, 935 yards, 22nd in the league, and then his motherfucking his yak 487. Which was 4th in the league. So the type of scheme and the offense that Sean McVay is running is going to be even better with a more capable quarterback. So when he catching the ball, whether it be 5 to 10 or 15 to 20, whatever it may be, Robert Backwoods is catching the ball and he's doing what he's doing, Brad. And the only thing that stopped him from being a little bit higher was the motherfucking 4 TDs, which was 48th in the league, man, 100%. You know what I mean? Deep targets was 14 with 36 in the league, 11 red zone targets, 36 in the league. You know what I mean? They making sure that Cooper Kupp and Robert Woods is getting that ball, and they both in a high-powered ass offense that can support 2 top 15 receivers, 100%. And I'm high on both of the Rams receivers. That was my 13th over motherfucking Mike Evans. Just based on the yardage. Mike Evans' yardage was a little down last year, but them TDs was there. That's what saved him. But Mike Evans, he's had seasons where he can put up 1,400 yards. And then with a better quarterback and a better system that Stafford has been in, I think that Backwoods and motherfucking Kupp can be top 15 receivers, 100%.
Yeah, nah. Like I said, for me, he's safe. When I go to my number 12, I mean not my number 12. Hold on, let me pull my list back up. Sorry about that. I just feel like he's safe. Like I think like you had mentioned something about how much Tom Brady likes him. Like I feel like if my theory is that Tom is gonna get a lot more active this year and let it loose, then I'm going to say that Mike Evans is going to be the beneficiary of that on those deep go-get-it balls. You know what I'm saying? But I am worried about he do always get banged up. But, JD, you had Robert Woods at your 13, right?
Yeah.
And I got him at 14. So I'm also big on Robert Woods. I think that Robert Woods, as far as talent, it's there. The rushing TDs were pretty high last year. I don't see him doing that again. But at the same time, they don't got Cam Akers now. He's going to get a lot of little red zone plays how they do, and he's pretty efficient on them. You know what I'm saying? You bring in Sony, whatever, blah, blah, I don't believe over there. But I like Robert Woods. I like both receivers. That's why I have them in my top 20, damn near back-to-back, one spot away. I think Cooper Kupp I think Robert Woods is a safer play, and I think Cooper Kupp has the higher ceiling. What you think, Workz?
To be honest, I struggle with Robert Woods, you know what I'm saying? And the reason why is because I think that offense is going to look different. You know what I'm saying? I think because Matt Stafford is more capable and competent, it's going to change the way they run things out there as far as that wide receiver position goes. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of the stuff that they were doing, playing sideline to sideline with the reverse action, that was to help. Golf. You know what I'm saying? You can take the training wheels off. You know what I mean? Now you can take the training wheels off, and so therefore, I see Robert Woods getting downfield more often and attacking the intermediate routes more often than what he already was doing. You know what I'm saying? So to be honest, I really don't have no justifiable reason why I don't have him in my top 20, other than the fact that there's just a couple of players other than that I thought would have been there. But you know, he's right there though, man. I like Robert Woods, man. Overall, you can't go wrong with him.
So you don't got him in your top 20?
I don't have him in my top 20. But I can make a compelling case that he should be there, you know, and that's just what it is.
Darnold out here swinging PDs.
We'll get.
Yeah, who was that?
I got ahead of me.
We'll definitely get more why you don't got Robert Woods in there. I'm gonna bring some players up that you do got in there and say, damn, not Robert Woods right there. You know, we'll get.
Yeah, I mean, I can make a compelling case. Why you say that about
Woods?
Each body I got him. Yeah, man, I like
Brandon
Ayuk, man.
Robbie Anderson with the TD.
Let's not skip ahead. Let's not skip ahead.
I'm gonna get the Robbie
Anderson.
Ayuk,
man.
Look, let's go to number 14. Let's go to your 14, Workz. You got Thielen at your 14.
Simply put, I like what I seen as a recovery year out of him last year, and with the emergence of Justin Jefferson, the coverage is gonna be rolled over to Jefferson side now. Thielen one-on-one, it's gonna be nasty. That's going to be nasty off that play action with Cook. It's going to be nasty, man. Just watch it work. He was seeing a little bit of that at the tail end of last year. How Thielen jumped up in numbers once he got healthy and started feeling comfortable. So I expect to see a lot more of that coming this year for sure.
I can't be mad. That's JD guy. He loved Thielen. I like Thielen shit. I traded for him.
That's for sure.
I don't have him in my top 20.
Dependent right now. Oh, everything. Really?
You said he's schedule dependent?
Yeah, I think he's touchdown dependent right now.
Oh, touchdown dependent. I can see that too.
I think Dalvin sets it up for them.
In the top 20, the yards and all that shit ain't finna be there. You know, he did his damage on 13 TDs, 12 TDs. I think he was like second or third in the league in receiving TDs. You know, I know he was top 5 for sure. You know, I could pull it up easily. You know what I mean? But I got something right now waiting for when y'all drop somebody else to have a rebuttal. But yeah, though, you know, I don't think that he's top 20 worthy right now, just based on, like I said, he's TD dependent. Whatever his yardage was, it wasn't where it needed to be. You know, I'm just not high on Thielen this year, bro. 100%.
Nah, look, I'm gonna say this. I wasn't high on Thielen at all. Even though Justin Jefferson back at practice, you know, a lot of people say, "Oh, sophomore slump."
Like you say,
red zone monster won't have as many TDs this year as Irv Smith was still some, but still locking the 9 to 1,000.
That's what I'm saying. And I think he was top 3 in the league at his position in the TDs.
Look, Thielen value right now, though, you could get him in very close to double-digit rounds. I'm talking about
in the 10th round.
Close to 7, 8, 9 is close to 10 to me.
Oh shit!
You can get Thielen in the 7th round. I've been seeing in a lot of my drafts that I've been watching people stuff. They completely forgot about Thielen, and I'm big on players like value. Like if you tell me I can get a guarantee, like Strangler said, 9 to 1,000 in a TD monster, probably 5 TDs easy. And he could be my wide receiver 3 when I filled out other positions, I'll take a chance on that. I'm happy with that. I don't have him in my top 20, but that's also because I like a lot of these other players, you know what I'm saying, where I got them. So 14, I had Robert Woods. Workz, you had Thielen. JD looks like you had Mike Evans. So let's go to JD. Let's go to your 15, Amari Cooper, who I just traded for, man. Shout out to the Bears, Blues, and Bros.
And you know, like I said, my theme is with the motherfucking musical chairs at quarterback at some of these motherfucking receivers that I got in my top 15 right now. This is my 15th receiver right here. So if you got a Ben DiNucci, You got a motherfucking Andy Dalton. You got a motherfucking Cooper Rush. All three of them dudes was throwing passes to this guy after Dak Prescott, Dakota Rain Prescott. You know, his ankle was poking out of his motherfucking skin. You know what I mean? And the numbers that he produced, you know, when you got a CD Lamb over there, who I got in my top 10, but he still had Amari had a 21.9% target share, which was 32nd in the league. You know what I mean? 130 targets coming from, I ain't going to say scrubs because they in the league, bro. They doing what they there for a reason. 130 targets, which was 12th in the league. 92 receptions, which he cracked the top 10, balling out with a fucking musical chair worth of quarterbacks. 1,114
He was
yards.
actually the number 15 PPR last year. He was actually the number 15 wide receiver last year, but he was number 10 the year before, though.
Yeah, but I didn't say nothing about that. All I said was just the target, you know, the numbers that I'm reading off what he did last year. That's all I'm reading off. I didn't say nothing about that.
No, I thought you said crack the top 10. I thought you were saying you must have been talking about targets.
10 in 92 receptions, which was ninth in the league. He cracked the top 10 in receptions, playing with a musical chair worth of fucking quarterbacks, a Ben DiNucci, a motherfucking Andy Dalton, and a motherfucking Cooper Rush. So to have 92 receptions and Dak Prescott only played 4 games last year and you still cracked the top 10 in receptions, that says something, 100%. And then when I was interrupted, he had 1,114 yards, which was 12th in the league. 417 yak yardage, which was 12th in the league. He damn near top 10 playing with a fucking musical chair. So if you giving me a 17-game schedule, what Dakota Rain Prescott was doing in his first 4 games, and I think he was one of the first quarterbacks or since somebody else would throw for 450 yards back-to-back games, boy, that's fucking big right there. A whole bunch of, deep targets, 15, which was 40. That's not his game right there. You know what I mean? 1,136 air yards, 697, which was 16th in the league. Amari is 4, and I just was just telling Cuzzo because he just made a trade for the boy, and I said Amari is like a 1A, a 1B because you got CD over there. So you winning. That's just like the Robert Backwoods in the Cooper Kupp situation. You got 1A and a 1B receiver that's going to command the targets and that's going to put up the production with a motherfucking a great ass quarterback. 100%. That's why I got him at 15, bro.
I'm not even going to really elaborate too much. I actually have Lamb ahead of him, but I have Lamb.
I got CD at 10.
I have Lamb at 15 and Cooper at 16, and I got him there because you could possibly interchange them where they'll finish. But I like Lamb over Cooper in that offense. You know, obviously, I talk about value, y'all. The Amari Cooper value right now is as cheap as it's gonna get in the as cheap as it's been. I'll say where you can get Cooper right now is value. You know what I'm saying? Like you're getting him in that 6th, 7th round that Thielen is at. So imagine going running back heavy, 3 running backs, whatever, 2 running backs, a tight end, a quarterback, and then you end up with a Thielen and Amari Cooper as your wide receivers. Ooh, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I do. It's a couple other factors that I like Lamb over Cooper, and obviously I don't want to get too deep in it because they're so close. But there's a lot of mouths to feed over there, like somebody said in the comments. Zeke, we know he's gonna catch passes. You know, Gallup, he's not a demanding receiver, but he's gonna take those chances and get hit over the middle and catch some deep balls. You know what I'm saying? CD, I like CD because he's the one that's gonna take over as the alpha wide receiver over there. So, Cooper might be, in the way Jerry Jones runs his team, let's get Lamb the ball. I want to get Lamb the ball. Let's get Lamb the ball. We know what Amari can do. Let's get Lamb the ball. And I think that's what's going to happen, me personally. I see what you think, Workz. I see you shaking your head, JD. You don't like the Lamb over you got Lamb over Cooper, but you don't like how it's going to affect him, all the other targets, and Dak maybe, You know what I'm saying? Coming back rusty, hitting everybody, not just zeroing in on one. It's all about the musical chairs of quarterbacks.
Man, that motherfucking take just went over my motherfucking head, doggy.
No, I just seen you shake your head, and I'm saying, is your only reason being the musical chairs of quarterbacks that he's had? Is that your biggest reason? Like, you think that you have Lamb in your top 10, and you're high on Cooper, even though he's at 16. So your reason is how good they did. Your reason is how good they did with a revolving door of quarterbacks. Is that your biggest reason? Is what my question was. You get that?
Biggest reason for what?
Being high on them. Is it because they were productive with terrible quarterback play? Is that your biggest motivation?
And what they put up with the first four games with their starting quarterback as well. So you give me a projected season of what Dak was doing last year, and if he's fully healthy, yeah, definitely. Like I said, I mean, if a motherfucker got Robert Backwoods and Cooper Kupp 13 and 14, why you can't have CD and Amari back to back as well? It's the same type of shit.
Well, I'm
just higher on the Dallas offense than I am more on the Rams offense, and we could just go back to where we was talking about Cam Akers and shit like that. I wasn't even high on Cam Akers. Motherfuckers was having Cam Akers league winning potential, but yet, however.
Look, I'm gonna say this too, right? Robert Woods, I could easily put Lamb and Cooper over Mike Evans, but like I said, the value where you're getting Evans and where you got to get Lamb in the 3rd round right now, and you can get Amari in the 6th. Like, the value is clearly pointing to Cooper. The value is clearly pointing to Evans over somebody like, depending on who you can get over Lamb. I can't take Lamb in the 3rd. I can't do it because of the threat with Amari there. But, I'm not going to – I don't want Amari or Lamb to be my second best receiver, or probably not even my first, to be honest. But I do want to jump to this and rewind a little bit. I actually have Cooper Kupp as my number 12 over Mike Evans, over Robert Woods, over CeeDee Lamb, over Amari Cooper. I got Cooper Kupp at the 12. I think, he had a decent season last year. I see Cooper Kupp getting back to that status that he was before he tore that knee up. What y'all think? Cooper Kupp too high at 12?
I wouldn't say too high, because I just think Matt Stafford gonna turn that thing all the way on out, man. I think what we seen was just scratching the surface of what that offense gonna end up being, with a competent quarterback that you can take the training wheels off of, that can read the field for you. You know what I'm saying? That changes the whole game. So that's why I expect both Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp, that whole offense, to run a lot smoother. You got to think Matt Stafford knows how to play without a run game. He knows how to play without a run game. He did the most of his career. So with that being said, this is why I see that Rams offense. To me, if I had to choose that offense, the offensive skill set players between the Cowboys and the Rams, I'm gonna go with the Rams, just because at the most important position, that's where they steadiest, at the QB. Can't go wrong.
Nah, I think Stafford is exactly what McVay wanted. Somebody with a real arm, more accurate than Goff. Like, this is what he needed. This is what he wants for them to get to where they think they should be, which is the Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying? 2 years removed. I guess it was 2 years removed. That's why I have Kupp and Robert Woods in my top 15, both of them. You know what I'm saying? And the value you get. Cooper Kupp is going after CeeDee Lamb. Robert Woods going after CeeDee Lamb, which is, to each his own. But, it's been proven with Goff, and it's arguably that Goff was terrible. He was terrible. Would y'all agree? Stafford's a major upgrade.
That's a major upgrade.
Let's get to let me see right here. I want to get to, so JD, you got, let me see. I want to make sure I'm not missing
Johnson at 16.
Okay, talk to me then, bro.
I mean with the 144 targets, so we just talked about Hold on. What did I say? I said
Deontay
85
Johnson.
with his 151 targets. And then Stephon Diggs being the number one target monster at 164, 165. You had Deontay Johnson commanding 144 targets in his second season. Even though he might have had a little case of the dropsies, but yet, you know what I mean, in his second season, 144 targets, which was, six in the motherfucking league, dog. 100%. You don't fall into 144 targets just being there. It's a reason why you commanding 7, 8, 9, 10, sometimes 13, 14 targets per game. You know what I mean? 88 receptions, 13th in the league. You know what I mean? 924 yards. You know what I mean? 1,117 air yards. You know what I mean? His YAC 387, deep targets 18, which was 30 in the league. You know what I mean? Total TD 7, which was 20th in the league, bruh. Some of these boys got Najee Harris in their top 10. And for Big Ben to get a better run game, which he didn't have last year, and for Big Ben to be an underrated ass quarterback and to put the ball where you need to be, and the threat of having a run game, and Deontay Johnson being that number one wide receiver over there. I don't give a fuck about Juju. I don't give a fuck about Claypool, because if you go dig into their numbers, you're going to see who the number one receiver is. Yeah, so run it back with them numbers that I just ran off into the 2K21 season with Deontay Johnson. And y'all got to go check the tape where it was this time last year, where I was ranting raving about Deontay Johnson in his rookie season doing mediocre numbers that perpetuated him into being in my motherfucking top 16, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, you was big on Deontay Johnson. I got him in my top 20. I think he got top 10. I'll say top 12 to 15 upside, just because you got Najee, you got you don't care, but you still got Juju, you still got Claypool, but he is the most targeted wide receiver, and Big Ben is a lot more healthy than he was last year, and Johnson still did what he did. You know what I'm saying? So I like Deontay Johnson a lot. You know what I'm saying? I think you've seen me grab him in the Heart2Start redraft, not the Heart2Start redraft, but the Heart2Start super flex. I felt like I was able to get him at a great spot. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm happy with him being my third best receiver, and I'll run with that all day. I'd be happy with Deontay Johnson being my second. I would want him to be my third best receiver, but it also depends. If it was in the draft and you got a Deontay Johnson sitting there, Godwin, DJ Moore. I've been taking DJ Moore, but I think I might take Deontay Johnson over DJ Moore, to be honest, just because of how much we know he loves him. So I'm with you. I don't got him at 16, but 16 ain't too far from 20. You got Deontay Johnson up in there, Workz?
No, I don't got Deontay Johnson. I'm really kind of scared of all Pittsburgh receivers, honestly, and main reason is being I see what I've been seeing in preseason, or I hear what I've been hearing, but that's the only thing. What kind of Ben are we gonna get? Are we gonna get check down Ben that can't stretch the field? Because what's the point if Ben can't stretch the field on a consistent basis? You know what I'm saying? It's just you kind of limiting yourself. So yeah, that's the only reason why. But as far as skill set and talent, man, Deontay Johnson, he got it. He got it. He got all the measurables.
Yeah, I'm messing with Johnson.
I like Johnson overall. On being healthy.
Okay, let's talk about Workz. You got DJ Moore at 15. I got him at 19, and it looks like JD got him at 18. So you got him the highest. Tell us why. When I put him there, I had forgot about the Robbie Anderson effect. I forgot about that. I didn't factor that in. Now, factoring that in, that would have dropped him lower on my list. To be honest, he might not even have made my top if I would have factored Robbie in. And the reason why is because Robbie and Sam, man, they got it, man. They got a nice little connection. So
that's probably gonna be their best wide receiver going into next year, if you ask me. Just overall, what Robbie can do, and he motivated, yeah, it's gonna be all right.
They paid him too. They extended his contract for 2 more years too, at being a 28-year-old wide receiver and taking Terrence Marshall in the 3rd, 4th round. But that just shows you the confidence that they have in Robbie Anderson as well. You know,
Exactly.
you just gave him $29 million, $27 million for 2 more years. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? No, definitely. I see it. But I like DJ Moore just based on the numbers that I was looking at, and with Teddy B, you know, being a check down artist, and the numbers that
DJ put up.
DJ Moore put up, you know, I think those numbers, because the inefficiency was there. You know, when you got a motherfucking 118 targets and you only got 66 receptions, that's not right, dog.
Something's off about that picture, huh?
Yeah, it's something very off about that, big bro. But the cold thing is what jumps off is, though, with that lack of nigga, the shit wasn't there, right? I couldn't spit it out, my bad. But what was there though is that he had 1,139 receiving yards, which was 9th in the league, 26 deep targets, which was 6th in the league. His air yards was 1,575, 5th in the league, and the completed air yards was 118, which was 8th in the league, and then his yak was 375. How do you have only 600, or you have 66 receptions, but your targets is 118, but when you catch the ball, you damn near
making it happen.
All damn near top 10 in the league, at least top 10, top 15 in the league. And then Sam Darnold is a first-round talent. I know Teddy Bridgewater was a first-round talent before he got hurt and all that. He went to New Orleans, sat behind Breeze, went 4-1, checked down Charlie, go get paid. Woo. You know what I mean? But yet, when you look at DJ Moore numbers, he's not supposed to be in my rankings 18th receiver, because if the efficiency was there, he'd be a top 10. So when you got Sam Darnold, and I'm watching the Carolina and Pittsburgh game right now, and Sam Darnold is slaying this motherfucker, bro. It's not there, bro. Yeah, no, I'm high on DJ Moore this year, bro.
I want to add on to what you said. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on. 66 catches last year on 118 targets. That is not his fault. He gets 1,100. Hold on, JD. You don't like to be cut off. I'm going with your point. Just
no. I feel you, but what I'm saying is, I just
hear me out.
On that.
Okay, hold on, brother. Let me finish. Like, you don't like to get cut off. I know. I'm trying to give my point and what I think.
I feel you, doggy.
66 catches to have 1,193 yards, 18 yards per catch. Like you said, if you bring an efficient quarterback who we hope Darnold could be, he could easily be top 10, even with Robbie there.
You got
and McCaffrey,
Sam Darnold, and Joe Brady. Joe Brady is an offensive wizard, man. You're going to have them boys in Carolina clicking, man. Honestly, if it's a sneaky team in the NFC South, it's going to be Carolina. That's going to be a sneaky team, man. I wouldn't be surprised if they finish as high as second, considering where they at and what they got rolling over there.
No, I definitely I got DJ. He's at 19, but I like a lot of the other receivers, and I feel like with McCaffrey coming back, with Robbie Anderson being there, I think that they're not going to be dependent on DJ like my number 17 receiver, and I could just jump into this unless y'all got more to add on DJ Moore. So, my number 17 receiver is probably going to shock people is Jerry Jeudy. You know, I know he had a lot of the dropsies last year. You know, the quarterback play to me was terrible. You know, he's coming into a sophomore season. I think he's a little more seasoned, even after being touted as one of the best wide receivers in his draft class last year. I think Sutton coming back helps him because Sutton's not the same and might not be at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? But the opportunity, then you got Teddy B, who I think is a better quarterback than Fant. You know what I'm saying? And then you got Jeudy ready to take the ball and create and get the ball and make noise. You see some of the little highlights that he didn't have in the preseason where he take that ball and get loose. I'm loving Jerry Jeudy this year, and I'm trying to grab him in a lot of leagues. What y'all think about that? JD?
Been rich for my blood, doggy.
Yeah, I'm not really high on Jeudy. I haven't seen him put enough together for me to even put him in my top 10, honestly. I haven't seen it.
17. He's my number 17. I got him above Godwin, DJ Moore, and Deontay Johnson. Now, that's a bold take. You know what I mean? Shout out to the Bears, Brews, and Bros. They was talking shit about me one day in the chat. We was saying, he was saying Chenault was too easy of a guy that everybody wants. There's nothing bold about that. But I just think the defense is going to be a little better in Denver, and they're going to want to, Teddy B is that get the first downs, and I think Jeudy is one of the biggest beneficiaries of that. Fant might have a good season, but the boy, you want to talk about health, Fant always hurt to me. I'm nervous about Fant, even though I wouldn't mind having him, and I had him last year. But I think Jeudy is the best wide receiver target in that offense. Their success won't be on him, but their offensive success through the passing will be on him. I'm taking Jeudy off of opportunity and the value you getting him. You getting Jeudy in late rounds, 6, 7 with them. Will I take him over Amari Cooper? Like I said, he going into 6 and 7, probably not. But if he's around that range where there's some running backs that don't really got the starting job, but they got potential, I think I might go Jeudy. I'm fucking with Jeudy.
Yeah,
y'all ain't fucking with him.
I can't take him over nobody that I didn't name tonight.
So Jerry Jeudy's is your Brandon Ayuk?
I don't got Ayuk in there for a lot of reasons. I love Ayuk. You could ask anybody that mock drafted with me. He always ends up being my third wide receiver. But I'm loving the value where Debo is. We haven't seen Kittle yet. We know what Kittle's going to do with Garoppolo. Obviously, we haven't seen him in the preseason. And I think if my theory that Trey Lance ends up starting, Ayuk been dropping a little bit. It's just preseason, but I hope Lance can learn how to lighten that ball with some touch when he's throwing it. Because I seen a clip today. They was practicing and they had a coach throwing the ball hard to him, and that's all they was practicing, running up with the coach throwing it as hard as he can to him. You know what I'm saying? But I love Ayuk, but he's not in my top 20.
Get the fuck out of here, bruh. Ayuk dropped the ball all year. Now you on that
hater
bullshit.
talk.
Get your weird ass out of here with that bullshit.
Shout out to Jimmo, man. With Teddy or Locke as a QB, Jerry Jeudy will have same production as DJ Moore last season. So that's top 18. Well, Moore was like a 2022. But again, look at the Jeudy stats. 100 and something targets with 52 catches. That ain't his fault to me, if you ask me. You know what I'm saying? And I think Teddy Bridgewater is a better quarterback than Drew Lock. And I'm gonna just leave that bold take right there. So Workz, let's talk about your 17 with Godwin. I see JD.
Memo, this one for you, brody. It ain't no martini. It's just a straight shot. But this one,
JD,
for you
don't. Shout out to Jimmo, man, the icon.
Motherfucking dog, right there.
I got Godwin at 18. Workz, you got him at 17. He's not in JD's top 20. Talk to me.
I got him at 17, man, because I just think that this is a must prove. It's a proven year for him. You know what I'm saying? They got so much weaponry over there. It's almost like Godwin, man. It's time for you to get back to what you were the year before, the season before last. You know what I'm saying? Because AB is on his heels, and I know AB wants to really be the number one guy. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, at the end of the day, the only thing that's stopping AB from even being there, I think, is Bruce Arians. You know what I'm saying? So, at the end of the day, it's just one of those things where I think it's such a proven year for Godwin, and I think Godwin got enough to prove it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna put him right there because he got a lot of value, man. He got it's a lot of value there. Just in principle, in theory alone, you got to think when it comes to commanding that double team, that cover's still getting rolled over there to Mike Evans. You know what I'm saying? It's still getting rolled over there to Mike Evans. So this is why it's even more of a proven year, because you was getting that one-on-one, man, and for whatever reason it didn't pan out for you. So I'm putting him right there because I actually like his talent, man, for real. I like Godwin a lot, honestly.
What week did AB come back, JD?
8 or came in 9. He was suspended for the first 8 games. He came back week 9 and out targeted everybody over there.
I like Godwin's efficient. AB came back week 9. He definitely got a lot of targets those last 4 or 5 weeks. I love every receiver over there, to be honest. I love AB's value, like everybody's saying in the comment. I love Mike Evans' safeness. And I love Godwin's talent playing on the franchise tag. He needs that big contract. Everybody wants that big contract. You know, I look at from week 9, week 10 on, 15 points, 18 points, 18 points, 4 points, 12 points, 20, and 33, even though week 17 don't matter. If you telling me you can get Godwin and he's going to get you, his floor is 15 points a week with all the talent over there, I'll take that as my third receiver with, he can get them 25, 30-point games. You know what I'm saying? He's not just only going to give you that. But with a floor being 14, 15, I'll take that where you're getting Godwin right now. He's not going too high.
He's not going too high?
I don't think so.
Let me see. What did it say? His ADP is 39th overall. So 12 times 12 is 24. Another 12 is 36. So he's going at the beginning of the 4th round. Give me AB in the 8th round, in the 7th round over Chris Godwin. 100%. We talking about value. Yeah, no, AB, I mean, just like how they talking about in the comments, you know, and me and Jimmo, you know, I fuck with AB just as hard as Jimmo. Pause. 100%. That's my doggy. 100%. And I just said from week 9 all the way to week 16, AB out targeted everybody over there. You know what I mean? AB is the most supreme talent over there at that position. 100%. And he's 33 years old. Man, give me AB, bro. On my mama. Look, Woodrow, I need you, the league that you got him in the super flex, man, run that boy to me, doggy, because I'm willing to pay the price. AB, my guy, bro. I don't got him in my top 20 because he's where his ADP is in the 7th, 8th round. You know what I mean? But he's definitely one of my sleepers right now that I'm targeting for these next 3 home leagues. 100%, bro. There's no arguing about that, bro. You go look at them numbers. If he would have played the whole 16 games, he would have shattered all Mike Evans and Godwin's numbers. And you know, and we you know, not to shit on Godwin like that. He only played 12 games, but yet we talk about Julio and what he did last year. But Godwin missed 4 games. But if you go look at the 19 season, you drafting Godwin what you did last year based on the 19 season.
In the 19s, I just want to throw something out there I'm not arguing that point, JD, but in the 19th season, he played 14 games and was the number 2 PPR back, 86 catches, 13. I mean, it's 2 years ago, you know, granted, but I mean, to me, you know, 1,300 yards last year, 840 only playing 12 games. I think you could lock Godwin in with 80 catches and 1,000 or maybe even 1,100 yards. I think AB could get you 900. Godwin could get you 1,100. Mike Evans could get you 1,100. I think Brady throws for 4K, and it's enough to spread around.
And what year did Godwin have 1,300 yards?
The year before 2019.
Yeah.
2019. I think Godwin is too talented not to be in the top 20. I got him at 18. You know what I'm saying?
That's how I feel about Julio.
And I will say this too, though. Every show we've done in the comments, even if we're on other people's, if we're drafting, everybody feels the same way about AB, that they're waiting to get him in the back of the round. So I think it's going to be a lot of people waiting to get AB back there. and he might go a little sooner than a lot of people think. You know what I'm saying? Not
I got a
soon,
sidebar too. I got a sidebar. Shout out to the Boston Strangler. Man, I hope we connected on Instagram. If you follow one of these niggas, man, tap me in with you, whatever it may be. But the guy to my left in this box right here, I got a bet, $100 bet with him that AB outscores Godwin this year, doggy. 100%, bro. That's how high I am on AB this year, because he out targeted. Even though that he might have missed 4 games, but he played the stretch. Godwin played the stretch and still got out targeted, doggy. 100%. That's just how much I fuck with AB. That, you know, I mean, that's my guy, Jimmo. 100%, doggy.
So you don't got Godwin in your top 20?
I don't got Godwin in my top 20.
Okay. Can't be mad at you. It's all opinion, you know what I'm saying? Opinion based, you know what I'm saying? That's where we at.
You know, that's what this fantasy shit is. Opinion based, backed up with some motherfucking numbers. 100%.
What they say, hey, what they saying in the comments?
You interpret the numbers.
What they saying in the comments is, where do you have AB ranked versus Godwin? Even if you were, he's not in the 20, but if you had to guess,
Godwin, because if Godwin ain't in my top 20, AB gonna be way above him.
So let's say Godwin was your 26 or 25. You got AB
would be 21.
This is JD stupid.
I don't think that's I don't think that is as bold as it takes as me having Judy in the top 20. So I give you.
Oh wait, hold on! Don't do that.
Did you hear what I just said? You might have misunderstood what I said. I said I don't think that's more of a bolder take.
A bolder take than you having Judy in your top 20 is to bet that AB outscores Godwin and we putting some money on the line. That's a bolder take.
No, I didn't say. I said I think that AB being 21, 22 isn't as bold as a take as me having Judy in the 17 at 17 is what I said.
And where do you got
Godwin? I'm saying that I think that AB, if I think Tom Brady could throw for 4,000, I ain't mad at you for having AB in your top 25. I got Godwin at 18. You have
Godwin in your top 20?
18.
You got Godwin at your 18.
Number
but yet
18.
I'm willing to bet a couple of dollars.
That's fine. We bet.
That my guy outscores your guy that's in the top 20, and I don't got him in my top 20.
Okay, what's your point? That you're willing to bet that you believe more?
Because that's how high I am on that guy, and you're higher on Godwin.
Okay. Jimmo, man, good night, man. Cheers to you, man. Cheers
fucking
to
East Coast time. It's like
you.
5 in the morning.
Okay, let's get we about to be real close to being done. I think Workz got two that we're gonna argue a little bit about coming up, but I want to skip to JD's number 20. Not skip to because we're at 19 and 20, but I want to go to JD's with the Tyler Lockett in his top 20. Talk to me.
What you want me to do? What you want to talk about? You want to
got him in your top 20. Why he's in your top 20? We breaking down our rankings.
132 targets, 100 receptions, 1,054 yards, which was 15th in the league, 10 total TDs. I mean, what? And he's playing on the opposite side of motherfucking DK. You know, he might have fell off in some points of the season, but to have 10 TDs and it's only 16 games last year, that's almost a ton of game. You know what I mean? Completed air yards, 725. And we all know that Russ likes to get the cooking, bruh. That's all predicated off that deep ball, bruh. I mean, to have Tyler Lockett in my top 20, which is going in the 5th round, why wouldn't I want to have him as my second best receiver? 100%, man. Run that all day, doggy.
You know why I don't like Lockett.
I don't care why, but let the people know.
That dude will give you, let me see, 17, 19, 37 points his first 3 games. Then he come back with the 5, the 8. Then he gets you 53. Then he back with the 7 and the 8, 11, 21, 5, 11, 10, 7, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games of single-digit points. I don't want Lockett nowhere on my team because I like DK. You got DK ranked as your number 2 receiver. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Lockett,
right.
obviously, we're at 20. That's 18 receivers away. But I can't get jiggy with Lockett, man. I hate it, bro. I hate Lockett, bro. You know, not even the fact that Russell fades. I just don't like. I don't like Lockett.
His ADP is 34th. So 12 and 12, 24. So right now he's going in the third round. I don't think nobody's taking him in the third round, bro. I really don't. That's the underdog. This is paid.
His ADP is actually in the 5th round.
No, but when I'm looking at the underdog ADP, which is paid best ball leagues right now, doggy. You know what I mean? That's what I'm looking at right now. 34.4, and it's jumped up 2.1% right now, or 2.1 slots. You know what I mean? From maybe a week ago. You know, ain't nobody taking him in they redraft leagues in the 3rd round. You know what I mean? That's 100% what they're not doing. But if you're giving me them numbers in the 5th round, where he's going in your home, because this is home league season right now, you're getting him in the 5th, 6th round. Whether you're going to be your 2nd or your 3rd receiver, and you giving me them numbers, yeah, okay. Well, he might have had 5 to 6 to 7 single-digit games, but you said he had a 53-point game. That's winning you weeks. How many other 30-point games has he had? How many 20-point games has he had? That's helping you win weeks as your 5th and 6th round pick. Yeah, run it.
20-point games, 1.
And
he got
120.
Look, he gave you 120, a 53, and a 37. Every other one, the closest to 20 was 19 and 17. Everything else is 11, 10, 7, 10, 11. I'm going to give y'all some advice for what I think. If you got Lockett, the week he goes off, trade him. Trade him. It's gonna bless you. Especially when JD say where he say you can get him 5th, 6th, 5th round. You might could get somebody who gave up on the star during that time of the season. Trade Lockett when he goes off. Even the same thing for a player like Mike Evans. If Mike Evans goes stupid, he's a player that I like to trade. You know what I'm saying? Because people will buy the name and they'll buy the 50-point game. You might fill a need where you can. Don't be scared to shake shit up, you know what I'm saying, during that season. But we'll talk a lot about that during the season for sure. But Lockett at 20, I mean, I'm not gonna argue it and just say you off, but I just hate what he does. Like, you know, I mean, number 8 fantasy receiver last year in 13. But if there was ever a player whose stats was skewed,
3-point game, bro.
Hey, if there's ever a player whose stats were skewed, it's Tyler Lockett. Agreed, Eric. You got to take him.
Hey, that's big. That's big guy in the
big guy. What it do, man?
Yeah, that's my guy Davis. Right
Send Mike Davis. Send Mike Davis.
That's my guy right there, bro. Real talk.
Let's get to Workz right now, man. Ayuk at 19, and I think your 20 is shocking me a little bit. Ayuk at 19.
I did 20 just for you. That's your man.
Not no more.
Nah. You know, as far as Ayuk at 18, man, or what's that, 19, 18? Wait a minute.
19.
19, yeah. As far as Ayuk at 19, man, I like it, man. I like him. You know, he's the ability of like a poor man's Julio. Really, ability-wise is there. You know, I think this would be the year that he has the opportunity to put it all together because so much attention is going to be going elsewhere. You know what I mean? With that offense, you got to dedicate that time to that run. And then, I mean, you know who's going to get that double? Kittle. He's going to get every double coming over there. You know what I'm saying? So it's just going to open up a lot of action for Debo and Ayuk. I just think Ayuk has a better ceiling, a higher ceiling than Debo, if you ask me, considering I think he's a more versatile wide receiver skill set than what Debo has. So I'm high on Ayuk, man, for real. I'm high on him.
Hey, when I was listening to your argument right there about the run game and about the talent around him, I was kind of getting the same vibes that JD got about Julio and why he got him at that 19 spot. Is the same thing with you with Ayuk. You called him a poor man's Julio. So is it safe to say that, you know what I'm saying, he might if you look, what I'm saying is if you could argue that Ayuk and the weapons around will open things up for him in the run game, then that might be the same argument with Julio. Playing devil's advocate.
Here's the biggest difference. Ayuk only been in the league, what, 2 years? It's like his second year, his third year?
About to be his second.
Second year. Julio long in the tooth. You know what I'm saying? So the upside, if we talking upside, upside ain't there for Julio no more because he on the down end. You know what I'm saying?
Wood keeps saying shit like this on some 49er hate shit. We don't believe you. You need more people.
What did you say? What did you say?
He said Ayuk droppable by week 4. Yeah, right.
That's the second time he done said some shit like that.
Hey, says the guy who traded Boyd for McKissick.
When did he do that?
You got him from him.
I know that. I just asked him, when did he do it? I know he did that.
I don't got Ayuk in the top 20, but like I said, he ain't too far behind. I would love to have him as my third receiver if I'm deep at other positions. I don't want him to be my, fifth best player.
My thing with Ayuk is if you go to Matt Harmon's reception perception, he's beating man, he's beating press. He's beating it, bruh. He's a pure route runner, bro. He separates 100%, doggy. And, when you got Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard throwing you, 70% of your targets, you know what I mean? And you ain't had Jimmy but 3 weeks, 4 weeks. And Ayuk didn't start doing his damage until after week 8. You know what I mean? If you go look at Ayuk's game by game, he's commanding 8, 9, 10 targets and hitting for no less than 70 yards with a touch per game. So if you give me a consistent quarterback to throw the ball to Ayuk on top of having a GKO, on top of having a Debo in the slot, on top of having a top 5, a top 10 rushing attack in the league, definitely. Ayuk is the number 1 receiver in San Francisco. We're not talking about overall target, but he's the number 1 receiver in San Francisco or Santa Clara, whatever y'all want to call him. 100%. No, definitely. No, I'm not mad at having Ayuk in that top 20 because, to project what he could have did in 16 games with a starting quarterback, he would have been in the top 24 receivers. 100%. Just go look at the numbers, what he did from week 10 on to week 16, or it might have even been week 9. Nah, definitely. So I ain't mad at you. You got a few niggas that got the Ayuk and the motherfucking Antonio Gibson take though Workz. Nigga, I'm there, bro. 100%, doggy. And it might be one more. Them is the 2 right now that's jumping off the table to me in your motherfucking takes. Nigga, Gibson and Ayuk, nigga, I'm right there with you, bro. I might not have had the motherfucking kahunas. Shout out to Joe Boo. We play Major League every day that we step out on these motherfucking streets to go do what we got to do to provide for our family. You know what I mean? But, yeah, I'm definitely with them takes, dog. 100%.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I can have them kahunas. Yeah, nigga.
That thing with Ayuk, too, is, his strength in college is he led the nation in yards after catch, which is why the 49ers grabbed him, and they said that the 49ers reached for him. They said that it was other receivers that we should have got at that spot at the end of that first round. I love Ayuk. He just didn't make my top 20, because of the Debo, the Kittle, you know what I'm saying? That's why he didn't make my top 20. But you could ask, like I said, anybody who might drafted with me, I've been grabbing Ayuk. Let's jump into the last one tonight because we said everybody's, but we saved this one for last. Number 20 Workz, Kenny Golladay. Talk to me why he's going to stay healthy enough to be in the top 20 with Daniel Jones throwing him the ball.
And I'm gonna cut myself some bail here, man. You know what I mean? I got Kenny there, man, because I no excuse. I like Kenny. I do. But should he be there? Nah, he probably shouldn't be there. I probably can name 2 or 3 more receivers that I can put right there that would deserve to be there, especially somebody like Robert Woods that I don't even have in my top 20. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, honestly, if we just talking about Galladay as Galladay is, I mean, it's his opportunity to prove he is number one. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot is riding on Danny Dimes to make it count. You know what I'm saying? And I think he got the ability to make it count. But you're right. If he stay healthy, he has to stay healthy. You know what I'm saying? If he can stay healthy, he all right. He'll be all right. Might not be.
The hamstring he was faking last year actually just came up this year. You know what I'm saying? But practice. Now, I mean, to me, last year. Okay, so look, with Galladay the year before, he only had 1,100 yards, but he had those 11 touchdowns. And going into last year, everybody's argument was he's not repeating that touchdown performance. He's touchdown dependent. He's not going to finish as the number 9 wide receiver that he did that year. But I think that Danny Dimes is so trash to me, and I'm not – this isn't the reason why, but I think Danny Dimes likes to throw the ball up, and somebody like Galladay will play to the strengths of him with a big arm, catching Galladay down there with just a corner, and maybe the safety's looking elsewhere or looking at Barkley on the play action. And I see Galladay, he could sneak up in there and get 7-8 touchdowns. I don't think the yards would be there, but, I'm not mad at him in the top 20. It's just a lot more players that I would have. I would definitely have Ayuk over Galladay. I won't even draft Galladay on no teams because he let me down how he sat out last year and wanted to be traded. You know what I'm saying? So recency bias, a little recency bias. JD, Galladay not touching him nowhere near what?
Nah, not in the top 20, doggy. I can't run with that. But yet, just based off the potential of what he showed with Stafford, and I think that the Giants have a better offense than any offenses that he's played with in Detroit. So the potential is there, especially if he could stay on the field the whole 17 games. You give me a healthy Barkley, you give me a healthy Evan Ingram. You went and got Kyle Rudolph. You invested into the O-line. You know what I mean? I mean, Kadarius Toney. I can't even think of my other guy's name. Sterling Shepard right now. You know what I mean? I mean, the potential is there. And then you got to think they also had a top 15 defense in the second half of the season as well. You know what I mean? You got the boy out of USC that they got from the Jets. They traded when they traded OBJ, they got Jabril Peppers. Jabril Peppers is a hell of a motherfucking safety. They went and got the boy from Carolina, Bradbury, who's a shutdown corner over there. No, the Giants have pieces to where they can make a run. To make a run in the NFC East, not yet, but yet to be fantasy viable, as long as all their key pieces are on the fucking field. Yeah, Kenny G can make a viable fantasy season, especially being at the number 20 receiver that my boy got him at. I'm not mad at that, bro. I definitely not. It's just a little bit more variables to where he got to be, where he has to produce that, but I think it's feasible to where he can do that though, 100%. Yeah, no, I'm not mad at that. I'm not going to argue against it because my 20th is Tyler Lockett, which he had a few dud games, but he was able to put up 53 points in one game, and I think that Kenny G could put up 3 to 4 TDs in one game when you have a threat of a Saquon Barkley, whether he plays week 1 or comes in at 100% in week 3, week 4. No, definitely Kenny G can do that. And then you got Danny Dimes, who had an 80-yard run, who tripped up on himself, but just the threat in the offense is all over the board, bro. In New York, 100%. East Rutherford, 100%. The New York Giants blue. Not the green and the white over there, not gang green, but them other Giants, 100%. Yeah, no, I ain't mad at that. I'm fucking with it, bro. On everything.
Sure.
I ain't mad at it. I ain't mad. But yeah, man, look, man, it's hard to start wide receivers.
How many minutes was that to do 10 receivers?
We had 143 minutes, but we did a lot of.
Ain't bad, bro. That ain't too bad.
We did a lot of you know.
And Strangler been in there with us since the rib, bro.
Yes,
Strangler,
sir.
man, what's going on, bro? You want to come on an episode with us, bro?
Appreciate you, man. Appreciate
We
you.
know Woodrow in real life. We don't know Strangler, but we need to get Strangler on a motherfucking episode because he didn't rock out.
I definitely thought that Strangler been in here the whole time, man.
Salute to the Strangler, man.
100%.
Yeah, salute to the Strangler,
That's
man.
a hell of a name, though, bruh.
The Strangler.
Oh my
Strangler.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna finish this last half of this shot of the casa. I'm bringing the casa in my luggage when I touch down on Thursday morning or Friday morning.
No.
I'm bringing it.
Danny Dimes cannot get 4,400 yards passing with those weapons.
Mama, I'm finna eat breakfast and crack my bottle open with a gallon of water, nigga. Friday through Monday, 100%.
Salute to you, man. But nah, man, that was a fun one right there, man. You know, we like you said, it's home league season right now. You know, we gonna drop these tight ends and QBs for y'all. Sunday, possibly Monday, but possibly Sunday. We just gonna knock them out.
Within the next few days, for sure.
In the next few days, you know, QBs is one of the ones I love because, you know, like I said, we're gonna give y'all, you know, the top 12 QBs, and then we'll each give y'all about 2 sleepers that you can target in the late round.
And the deadness for the last week has been on my behalf. You know what I mean?
Nah, you know, we all got
I've been
shit
getting
going
beat
on.
up. You know, shout out to my dog Kurt Crump. You know, he talk about body blows when he's the supervisor where I work, and these weird ass niggas that we work with, they be giving him body blows with all the bullshit that they be giving him. So I had a few body blows this week, y'all. So you know,
it ain't on you, JD, man. You know, like
inactiveness on the motherfucking channel. You know what I mean? But you know,
but that ain't on you though, JD. Like Ken said, man, we all got shit going on, man.
Hey, and best believe when the season come, y'all gonna get tired of us because we do what we do every year. We gonna give you some wire rankings. We gonna give you that Sunday recap from the studio, Monday recap from the studio. You know what I'm saying? We're going to stay at it with the swerves, giving y'all players who you should be targeting or selling like a Lockett after he go for 53. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. But, man, you know, we not sure this your guys' thing, but I appreciate – hey, we appreciate you too, man. I hope you subscribe, and I hope you set the alerts on so when we pop up, you're able to check us out. Like I said, man, appreciate –
the interaction alone, nigga.
Yeah, the interaction is what we love. You know what I'm saying? We do – For anybody who did just join the podcast and maybe check us out, we do this because we love it. You know what I'm saying? No knock to anybody who's out there trying to build a career because it's definitely money to be made. But we do this because we love to do it. You know what I'm saying? We love to talk sports. We love to talk specifically fantasy. And we all in leagues together. So you'll see the competitive nature coming out during the season for sure. You know what I'm saying? But I hope everybody has a great weekend. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the whole Heart2Start crew that's not here. Kurt, Woodrow.
Tomorrow
Wax.
we doing the draft too. Let them know about the
tomorrow.
draft.
Oh, actually, yep. Tomorrow we are doing the second annual Heart2Start 14-team league. Who Woodrow in the comments is the champion. We're kicking it off tomorrow, and we're going to be live on StreamYard to let you guys see how that draft is going. If you know you want to tune in and see where players is going, like I said, 14-team league, single QB. You know what I'm saying? We getting it done.
Out the kicker. We doing another flex.
We added a flex. Hey, it's gonna get deep. Shout out to the champion in the comments, man. Heart2Start Fantasy Podcast. Love y'all, man. We out.